It's nearly impossible to talk about the best budget knives of the year without somebody popping into the comments section and mentioning the Vostede Raccoon, specifically the top liner lock Raccoon. It's been a hot commodity. It's affordable. It's made out of decent materials by a company who has been absolutely killing it all year long. But I haven't had one in my possession until today. Today, we're going to be deep diving into the Vostede Raccoon top liner lock to find out, is it really that good, or is it just another budget hype knife? Let's go ahead and talk about the Vostede Raccoon top liner lock. Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today, it's about time. We've got the Vostede Raccoon top liner lock. Now, I've already reviewed a Vostede Raccoon. The one that I reviewed previously was this guy. This is the crossbar variant. But here's the deal, guys. I cannot make a video about a budget level knife without somebody somewhere bringing up the Vostede Raccoon top liner lock. And that has a lot to do with two specific factors. The first is going to be the top liner lock, one of the most popular lock types of recent history. It is essentially a compression lock made by a company not named Spyderco, but it's utilizing this little tab right here, kind of like a button, that was first seen on the Spyderco smock and then adapted later by Vostede once the Spyderco utility patent ran out. And it's about time. We've asked for this for so long. Lots of people have wanted Spyderco to make more knives using, kind of a button operated compression lock. They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to anybody. They just said, here's another, Spyderco paramilitary 2 with the regular compression lock. Anyways, big shout out and a thank you to Vostede for sending this my way. I've been asking to review this knife for a while because you guys have told me that it's important, and I try to listen to the community, and it's about time. It's about time that we check out one of the most affordable, if not the most affordable, compression lock or top liner lock currently available on the market, the Vostede Raccoon. So, without further ado, what are you looking at? In case you didn't see my other video, what are the specs on this knife? Well, it's got an overall length of about 7.6 inches, and 3.25 of that is going to be the 14C28 end blade. Now, you have a couple options here. You can go with the drop point, which is this one, which honestly is my preference, or you can even get a sheep's foot style, which is more like what we have over here on the crossbar style lock. It really just depends on whether you want something a little bit more utilitarian or something a little bit more, pokey and stabby. They both have pretty good edge geometry. It's a flat ground blade, and deployment happens via this double-sided thumb stud. On the handle scales here, we have this green micarta, and you can, of course, get it in a couple different handle scale materials. I want to say you can also get it in G10, but there it is, micarta. On the handle scales, we got T6 hardware, single-sided captive pivot running on ceramic bearings, and a T8 pivot. This one is kind of a newer variant. It comes in what they're calling the Dune copper. And if you're wondering what kind of coating that is, I believe that is, in fact, a titanium nitride. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't feel like PVD. It doesn't look like PVD. It kind of has this rose gold kind of look to it. I like it. Something that is kind of weird is that they give you a filler tab for the pocket clip, which, by the way, is reversible. But ironically, it is not matching the blade or the clip or the hardware, which is weird because in the past, we have, in fact, seen that match the hardware and the blade. So I'm not sure if that is an oversight, but Vostede, if you're listening, probably should make sure that the filler tab matches everything else because it kind of just stands out. But this is, of course, the filler tab that came with it. It didn't come installed. I installed it because Honestly, it should be installed. Anyways, why should people get this over, say, the button lock version, the plunge lock version, or the crossbar style version, or, even if you're looking at a smaller variant to some extent, the liner lock version? This is the raccoon cub, and it's a very small Vosteed raccoon. Absolutely love this thing. This was one of those Vosteed gifts that they sent out this year. Super, super cool. But, this one is a regular liner lock front flipper. My point is, everyone talks about the top liner lock variant of the raccoon as if it is the end all be all, and you should never consider another variant of this knife. And I'll be honest with you, this one is very cool. There's something about using a button lock that's not a plunge lock, which is highly enjoyable. Maybe it's because you get an actual detent. For example, when I compared this against the detent on the crossbar style lock version, what I found was that the crossbar style lock version failed a simple handshake immediately, versus the top liner lock version, which did not. I shook the crap out of this one, and it it does not swing open. Now, if I do it forcefully enough, I can get it. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you get a traditional style detent, which is just far more enjoyable. Trying to fail this thing, I can if I intentionally try to get my thumb in the way of the blade, but the moment you break the detent, it's coming out. And that's nice. It means that the deployment is going to be silky smooth. It's going to be very satisfactory. Reverse flicks are nice. Thumb flicks are nice. The knife is very, very well balanced. Now, on this one, the ergos are fantastic. I would say that this is probably more impressive than the CJRB Pyrite, which is a knife that many people have called an evergreen button lock. At the time, there wasn't a Vosteed raccoon top liner lock available, but had it been available, I would take this over a CJRB Pyrite, 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. It's just far more enjoyable, and it's a stronger lock. The top liner lock is stronger than your traditional plunge lock style locks, and so it's safer, it's more convenient. You get a actual detent, so the action is really good. It's just nice. Now, if you were to verse this against, say, the crossbar style lock, there is an argument that could be made where you could say, well, the crossbar style lock might actually be stronger, and the crossbar style lock itself is fully ambidextrous. Meanwhile, the top liner lock is not. You can flip the pocket clip, of course, but it's not fully ambidextrous like, the crossbar style lock. So the good news is that if you are someone who is left-handed, you have another option. You can go with the crossbar style lock. Vosteed does a really good job on this. I love the crossbar style lock version. If you're wondering which one I prefer more, honestly, it's going to be the top liner lock variant. The top liner lock is an amazing apparatus, especially when you pair it with a button and a knife that is readily affordable. These are $65. $65 is phenomenal. Does that mean that this knife can do no wrong? No, we need T8 hardware. Specifically on this variant, I want to see a matching filler tab that matches the rest of the hardware in the blade. I don't know why they didn't do that. I'd get rid of the lanyard hole and I'd give it a backspacer. Yeah. Aside from that, the pocket clip is nothing to write home about, but at $65, what I expect from it is to function well, have good retention, and not get in the way of ergos, and it does all of that. It is fairly deep carry, so you only have that much sticking out. It's not bad. It's definitely well within the tolerances of what you'd expect from a pocket clip, and it doesn't get in the way of the ergos. It's very, very functional. Something that I would really like to see is a premium version of this. People obviously love the raccoon. The Vosteed raccoon has solidified its name as a top budget knife. The people have spoken. When are we going to get a titanium version with an LMAX blade? The people want it. I want it. And specifically in the top liner lock variation. It's time. It's a simple design, but often the best things in life are simple. And this is, in my opinion, the true Vosteed budget evergreen knife. This is amazing. It's got great cutting geometry too. I went ahead and put it through some really tough cardboard that's been giving all of my knives a bit of a headache because it's got some adhesive in the cardboard itself, and I can tell you that it performed rather well. It has absolutely no issue slicing and dicing through any of your cutting tasks. The 14C is a phenomenal steel in its own right because that it's really easy to sharpen. It's really tough. So you can get a screaming sharp edge that's very, very thin and very useful. And it's also one of the most corrosion resistant steels out there. At $65, it's no wonder why the top liner lock version is sold out. But the good news is that if you truly want an ambidextrous version, you can get it in the crossbar style lock as well. And currently at this time, this one is not sold out. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below, guys. What's your favorite iteration of the Vosti Raccoon so far? Are you like most people and you prefer the top liner lock variant? Do you like the crossbar style variant? By the way, if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, YouTube tells me that most people that watch are not subscribed. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button that's about to show up in the corner. Other than that, if you want to watch some more awesome knife and EDC content, feel free to watch one of the videos that pops up next.